to Bleav Cowboys. I'm Jeff Cavanaugh alongside the great former Cowboys wide receiver Jesse Holley, but I'm sorry, I actually introduced myself wrong. I'm Jeff. That's who I am. Welcome in. We have everything Dallas Cowboys. We are live on YouTube at youtube.com/Jeff Cavanaugh, so you can get questions in if you would like. And we have some things to talk about. But before we do, Jesse, there's something that I need to tell you. Yes. You specifically.
Okay.
I just want to tell you about our friends at Bet Online.
Yes.
They continue to be the number one source for all your betting needs and sports info. Man, the ESPN models and stuff that said the Celtics were going to beat the crap out of the Warriors were wrong. So I hope you bet on the Warriors like all of us smart people did. Yep, but you can get all the latest odds, news, sports developments, including this year's. Well, I won't read that one because it's over. Steph already won. But you do have the Stanley Cup, Major League Baseball. They've got the latest fighting news, next season's NFL futures. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today. Receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use our promo code BLEAV, BLEAV, to get the bonus and get into the action. It's Bet Online, where the game starts. Hi, Jesse Holley.
What's up, man? What's going on?
I'm just hanging out, feeling bad for my guy, Mike McCarthy. He used to be your guy, Freaky Mike. I think you're out on him now. But my guy, Mike McCarthy, poor guy, he gave guys like 2 days off and still got fined from the NFL because the Cowboys are too violent during practice. That's a tough break for my guy, Mike.
And on top of that, they lose an OTA day next year.
Well, they gave away 2 this year. They don't care.
So Sean Payton's going to start off behind the 8 ball. He'll start earlier because he'll be what? Oh, I'm just saying. Next year when Sean Payton is at the helm, he'll get the chance to start earlier than everyone else because it's a new head coach. But he'll be short today when it comes to OTAs.
He'll be great on Hard Knocks, too, which I think you're exempt if you have a new coach, but I think Jerry will tell Sean Payton they're doing Hard Knocks anyway, so that'll be great. Yeah, I love that Jerry talked about Sean Payton yesterday when it's like, well, you don't have to, man. You don't have to. And his quotes are something along the lines of, that's just you guys pulling that out of thin air. Now, he is my good friend, and you know that I think he's a great head coach, but Mike McCarthy has a chance to win the Super Bowl. And I'm just like, Jerry, do you realize all the things you just said? You told us not to talk about Sean Payton because there's no reason to. Then you said he's your good friend and a great head coach. And then you basically said the way that McCarthy can just keep his job is just go win the Super Bowl. Like, you're not just chill out sometimes, Jer.
I sit back and I think sometimes of what Mike McCarthy has, like what goes through his day-to-day. Now I get it. No matter what, he's going to get his $20 million, right? Like whatever he's owed left in that contract, he's going to get, right? Like 4 years, $5 million a year, $20 million. He's going to get that. But like at some point in time, like he has to know, like you can't be that naive and that oblivious to be like, wait a second here. Okay. So I was out in the first round of the playoffs last year and my roster is less than what it is this year than it was last year. And they almost was trying to give the guy who's already on my staff the head coaching job. They made me take this young boy, this boy wonder, who they wanted me to groom, but not want me to do what I do and let him do what he does. And it may cost me my job. And the owner comes out and he said, I just have to just win a Super Bowl.
Yep. And I'm great friends. Love drinking wine with this guy who's not in the league right now that I love. That's a great head coach, but we shouldn't talk about it because we just are going to win the Super Bowl. So there's no reason to talk about that.
I mean, $20 million would make my tears dry up pretty fast. But to know that you're a dead man walking, like that's just one of those things where it's just like, I get why he said, you know what? The hell with these 2 these mini camp days. We don't need those. No need for me to continue to stress myself out about what the team's going to look like. I won't be here in 6 months anyway. That's basically what he said.
Yeah, and when he walks by, if he sees Jerry at the Star, part of him is like, I could clothesline him. Like, he's old and frail. And like, I could let him know, you can chill out, stop talking about me. But I do like these checks. Kilgore in the super chat question for Jesse. I'm offended you asked a draft question to Jesse. Who do you think out of this draft class is going to be a guy we give a second contract to? Maybe Sam Williams develops, maybe even Tyler Smith. Do you have a guy out of the draft class so far that you like?
He's not playing this year.
Jabril Cox?
That was last year's draft class.
I'm sorry, I named the wrong one. LSU guy, Damone Clark.
Damone Clark. Yeah, I'm holding off on my blue pill for him.
What's the blue pill do?
Makes me horny, makes me hard. Football
Okay.
horny.
Okay.
So because I don't know why there's something in my spirit that just won't let it go. I just think once he's healthy, if that hurdle is ever overcome, I just think he's gonna be a player, man. I just do. I think he's gonna be one of those guys when you pair him up with Jabril Cox and Micah Parsons, like he's gonna be that fly around guy making sick interceptions, sacks, running dudes down, covering the slot, covering backs, covering tight ends down the seam. I mean, just doing a bunch of just absurd stuff. And you're gonna partner that with what Sean Payton's gonna do offensively in a year or so.
Dude.
I just think, man, I just think this Damone Clark kid is gonna be special. I don't know why. I don't know why, but I do.
And nobody asked me, but I think that Tyler Smith is going to be a first-round guy because they want to be right. And I'm happy that the people who are out there, and I will be at a training camp, but the people who are out there that were skeptical of the pick 2 are like, hey, from what we've seen so far, dude looks good. Dude looks like a player. Now, my guy is Jalen Tolbert. That's my guy. He's going to be
– right? That's an easy pick.
Yeah. Yeah. Sam Williams is their first and second round are kind of the wild cards, I think, because when the world thinks you reached on a pick, it usually turns out to be true. But the early reports on Tyler Smith are really good, and hopefully he's just going to step in and start manhandling people, and it's going to be tons of fun. And then Sam Williams might have been a little bit early, but if Dan Quinn tells you that's my guy, go get my guy, has he earned that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Then that's that. And then hopefully Sam Williams is, you know what, Dan Quinn said, look, I told you what I need last year and I got you results. I'm telling you what I want this year and I'm going to get you results. So this could turn into a really nice draft class, especially because they had so many picks.
If you're a coach and if you're a coordinator and you take a historically bad side of the ball and move them to the top 10 in one offseason, to me, you've earned the respect to say, go get my guy. Now, it might not be the first round guy, but you've earned the respect after that first round, because that first round guy is normally, and you'll know better than I am because that's the world that you live in. That's more of a collective effort. Like a lot of people have say-so in that, right? Like a lot of people get a chance to have input on that first round guy. But I think everything else after that is saying, okay, who next has the most respect in this room? And that says a lot about what they feel for Dan Quinn as a coach to say in the second round, hey, go get my guy. And that guy is then gone and got it for you. And again, it doesn't hurt when you've taken guys like Malik Hooker and made him a player. It doesn't take when you take guys like Jaron Curse, and you make him a player. And of course, while Micah Parsons was a number 12 overall pick, I honestly, no one believed he was going to be that freaking good. Like you thought, all right, we got a player, guys. We got somebody who's going to go out here. It's a first round pick, top 15 pick. He's going to go out here, and we're going to have he's going to be better than Jalen Smith. Like that was your hope. He's going to be better than Jalen Smith. We can move on from Jalen Smith, get a competent and comparable middle linebacker, and then you go, holy moly guacamole. This kid is amazing. And then you have COVID and injury hit, and you go, hey guys, just spitballing in this staff meeting this morning. What if we line number 11 up on the edge? Just let's see. Let's just see. Let's see what the hell happens, right? If all else fails, we can move him right back to middle linebacker, and we'll come back to this meeting and we'll reconvene and we'll try it again. And you go, holy hell, he's just as good at rushing the passer as he is at middle linebacker. What the hell? So I think for Dan Quinn, he's kind of put enough coins in the bank to go, hey, go get my guy. Like you saw I did the other guys last year. You saw how I took, Trayvon Diggs and made him an 11 interception guy, and Jaron Kersey, guy who was a journeyman and was a good player, but made him a solid starter. And the things that I did with other guys on this defense, I earned that.
From becoming a new me, I got to tell you, it's Dan Quinn. It's got to be a really nice gift when you're like, yeah, let's see if he can rush the passer. Oh, sweet. He's the best pass rusher in the entire NFL. That's fun. Becoming a new me said, Jeff, will you get credentials for this year's training camp? You damn Skippy. I will be at Cowboys training camp and I'll be doing shows. So make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel or else. William, thank you in the super chat. And everybody else, Booty Nasty on Twitch, he's always here. He said, I love to see that Jesse didn't sip the hater juice this morning, but I want to scroll back up. Hold on. I want to scroll back up a little bit.
Hold on, Booty Nasty.
To Jedi Shogun.
We still got show left, baby.
Jedi Shogun, dang, Jesse's all doom and gloom and said this season is basically a bust. And Todd, who said, just came to see what BS hate Jesse has today. So the Cowboys just gave away a couple of practices, Jesse. They could have had two more. They could have done two more things, and they didn't. You got any hating to do on that?
Honestly, it frustrates me. Like, it really does. Because you're not good enough. You're not good enough to give away any practices at this point.
Here he is, everybody. Here he is.
You really aren't. This football team is not good enough to give away any practice time. You need every moment of practice time. Now, maybe Mike McCarthy says, hey, guys, listen, I'm out of 150K the last 2 years fooling around with y'all.
You guys can't listen to me and not hit each other.
Give me the double birds. I'm out of 150K in the last 2 years fooling around with you dudes. So in lieu of me keeping the money that I'm going to get anyway, because I'm going to get fired at the end of this season, I'm going to let you guys go, and they're not going to get any more bread from me. But that honestly, Jeff, that frustrated me to no end, because there's so much this team, especially when you're talking about the young guys. Like, you have to offensively, Tyler Smith needs reps. Biotish needs reps. I mean, Steele still needs reps. Hey, what the hell? Continue to work through packages with Tony Pollard, right? Refine that stuff. Get that stuff done. Tolbert needs reps. There's a ton of guys. Washington needs reps. There's a ton of guys offensively on this football team that could use the reps. Dak Prescott needs to use the reps to get his confidence back to where he needs to be. I mean, there are tons and tons and tons and tons of opportunities to get better in these last two practices before you just gave them away. Like, you just gave them away, just poof in a thin air, as if this team has been perennial deep playoff running teams. Like, if this was the Warriors who've been to 8 finals, in what is it, 8 finals in 10 years, cool. Y'all got it. If this is the returning all 22 starters from Tampa Bay after winning the Super Bowl, cool. Y'all got it. We have absolutely done nothing to deserve days off. Free days of practice just given away. You weren't tired. Like, it's not like you're in the 3rd or 4th week of training camp. These guys are fresh. It's the spring. You practice inside. You're not even being beaten down by the heat. It frustrates me to no end that this team acts as if they're better than what they really are. Like, you are caca. You are poo in comparison to the other football teams who are going to the playoffs and making deep playoffs run year in and year out. That is just it's absurd to me. And if you're not trying to get better, then you're absolutely in the march to getting worse.
That's some good hating. If everybody came here for that, that's some good hating. Booty Nasty thinks it went like this. He said, hey guys, I'm not going to be here next year. Y'all want to say F this camp and go to Topgolf? Mike McCarthy. Do you put anything into like the team building exercises?
No.
Nothing.
No.
Nothing. Damn.
You know how we team build? We team build on the practice facility.
I think okay. Part of my brain does agree with you, where it's just like, hey, if you have a certain amount of days with the new CBA, you don't have enough time as is to do everything that you want to do. But I also think they went into this knowing, like Mike McCarthy went into this knowing how he was going to do this. He's like, here's how many days we actually need to install stuff. We aren't wearing pads, so it's not like I'm really like offensive line, defensive line going against each other without pads is basically pointless. Jalen Tolbert tweaked a hammy before we even got started. I don't want anybody to get hurt. So I get what he's thinking, but I understand you're hating. I understand the hating. Kilgore in the super chat. Jeff, I'm sorry I didn't include you. Good, because I'm sensitive. Let me ask you one. Why do you think that Jalen Tolbert will be great for us? Because Jalen Tolbert is ready. Like, he's one of those dudes that even at, let me make sure I get it right. He was South Alabama, I believe. So, like, it was small school, and it's like, all right, whatever. Congrats. You beat a bunch of dudes that aren't going to play NFL football. But it's the way you do it. When you can line up all across the formation, when you're a good route runner, you got good hands, you can win deep, you can win at every level, you can line up anywhere. Then you go to the Senior Bowl and play against the real adults, and you make them look like they can't cover you. Like, he's a player. He's a player. Jalen Tolbert is going to be good, and he's going to have tons of opportunities.
You think he doesn't reps on his offense?
Sir, you don't got to come back with the hating, though.
Like, you and I both.
I would have loved for 2 more days of Jalen Tolbert and Dak, now that he's back from his hammy, actually running routes together.
Jalen Tolbert's offense at South Alabama probably went something like
8 plays.
It probably was something like, hey, iPhone. And in the word iPhone is your protection, is your motion, is where everybody else is going, your route concepts, and all you hear is iPhone. Right iPhone. To now get into an NFL huddle and have to hear the verbiage. Like, that, I think that's the thing that people miss sometimes. Like, the verbiage is different. To get into an NFL huddle and hear a 12-word play call, that's stuff that you need to process for you to be a player that just goes out there and is not thinking about what you're doing, but actually going to do it. That comes now. That's what the OT. This is what mini camp and OTAs is for. Okay. It's for you to get that part down. And when you, they may go to the DAC field, the DAC yard,
sure,
and have some work in there. It maybe depends. Probably. I would say yes. They probably will. But I just don't like the fact that you just give up these days for players who actually need them.
Yeah, no, I would actually like to retract my today version of calling Jesse a hater, unless I can remember something he was actually hating on. Because I think that, especially when you have, like, Tyler Smith is learning a new position. He's left tackle in college. You're going to be our left guard. But we're also going to work you a little bit at left tackle because you're going to be our long-term left tackle. Like, there's a lot of stuff you could do with 2 more days. With Jalen Tolbert, who wasn't at OTAs or not partaking because of his hammy, like, let's get you on the field as much as we can. So I would like to retract Jesse hating ass Holley until I have a new reason, because for now I'm going to say he's in the clear today.
All right. I'll take that.
Dallas Bonias, why are we not signing Anthony Barr? Because look, the Cowboys, here's the thing. Damn it. I don't want this to be hating. I'm hating. The Cowboys are always building with the players they drafted and developed in mind. And so in their mind, I can play linebacker with Micah Parsons and Leighton Vander Esch, and Jabril Cox is on the way. And I brought in these rookies. Like, the Cowboys are one of those teams that are so homegrown that I think you could look at Anthony Barr and be like, does he upgrade my 53-man roster? Yeah. But they kind of look at it as like, ooh, but he would cost more than that guy and block him from being able to keep coming. And so the Cowboys just don't do that unless they feel like we don't have a starter at a spot. And I don't think they feel that way about linebacker. I think Jaron Kearse plays a decent amount of linebacker. They're fine with Vander Esch. Parsons is great. And they're hopeful about Jabril Cox. So, like, I just think that they are one of those teams that is not going to look for literally everything, where it's like, that guy is probably better than Van Der Esch. They'd be like, nah, we're okay there. If they feel like, we're okay there, they're probably not going to go spend money on a guy. That's just kind of the way they do things. So there's a little hating for you. A little hating for you from me to you.
Oh, hating Cavanaugh coming through.
That's what I do. And shout out to Acidic Spinach, who just wanted us to know that Dez would have skipped Top Golf Day. And shout out to Christian Wood. Let's go, Mavs. Let's go.
Oh, Dez would have skipped. Dez might have skipped Top Golf Day, though.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of Cowboys have bad swings. I thought pro athletes, once you become a pro athlete, you start golfing because you got time and money.
No. Too slow. The game's too slow. Well,
you get a few tee times so you can play faster. All right, Jesse, I got stuff to do today. So thanks for hanging out. It was good to see you. Go Cowboys and stuff.
All right, brother. Go handle what you got to handle. I got to go and get, sometimes the worst things, I shouldn't say that. I'm not going to say that because I live a damn good life. And if the biggest problem that I have in my life is that the AC went out in my A to B car, then if the worst,
that's the worst thing that ever happens to you. Right. You've lived a pretty good life.
Pretty good life. But I don't want to go pay this money to get the AC fixed, but I don't want to drive the other car because that one will cost me $150 to $60 to fill up, opposed to my little hoop ride.
You have two cars?
Yeah.
Don't say that out loud to people. Jesse, we're out here trying to fill up the damn gas tank. You got two cars?
And this is why one stays put and the other one I use every single day because this one is more efficient.
You're paying two insurances every month?
See, Poppy.
Vance wanted to know if you're inviting me to the Juneteenth barbecue.
Yeah, absolutely. Come through.
Is it weird that my brain registered that I didn't want there to be a NBA Finals Game 7 because I don't think that the city of Boston winning a championship on Juneteenth would have been okay to me? That wouldn't have been okay to me.
I never thought that, but I'm glad that you thought that. I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate the love that you show for us on Juneteenth.
That's the Bleav Cowboys show. Remember, it was brought to you by our friends at Bet Online. And remember, you have no idea what anybody's going through, so be cool to everyone. I love